We open with the railway and an original steam engine from the Metropolitan line in the early days of the Underground, complete with heraldic badges on the coaches, and jump to the modern, an electric-driven underground train, our means of travel until we got our motor scooter.
On this Sunday we decided to take a trip and see just how many autumn colours we could see. Well, we lost count.
Hogsback, England, as opposed to Hogsback, South Africa. A well-preserved example of English house building from the 12th century. You actually have to see it to believe it, because the walls are far from plumb. The worst we saw of the Thames flooding was at Kingston near our home, where it sort of burst its banks and covered the towpath, as these comparison pictures show. Elsewhere in the country, though, the devastation was very severe. The horses of Helios, reputed to have pulled the chariot of the sun god Helios through the sky on its daily journey. The frieze of statues above the west door to Westminster Abbey. These are all Christian martyrs of the 20th century.
The Houses of Parliament, London, together with Big Ben. One of the markers that helps you to follow the Diana, Princess of Wales Memorial Walk. Horse Guards Parade, London, where the major ceremonial events connected with royalty often take place.
Mounted Sentry Duty, Horse Guards.
We get invited to the 100th birthday celebrations for the Queen Mother.
And watch, along with the Queen, a musical pageant. Time for our drum horse to practice in Hyde Park. A Royal Mail postbox. A surprise photograph. This was taken with a camera set up for nighttime photography in broad daylight. St. Paul's Cathedral, as it should appear.
Ashley and Mark work for a time at the Falcon pub in Clapham. This is their view of London from their pub accommodation.
Bridge over the River Thames in Richmond.
Practicing photo merging. Claton Bridge, Kingston. One can just imagine the clattering of horses' hooves over this bridge in its distant past.
Scenic view of the Thames towards Waterloo Bridge while standing on Westminster Bridge.
Tower Bridge, London, with its lifting bascules to allow tall-masted ships through. Cleopatra's Needle is nearby, and these benches reflect the Egyptian theme. And here is the famous Cleopatra's Needle.
Queen Boudicca led her forces against the Roman Empire in AD 60. A British folk hero, she died shortly after its failure and was said to have poisoned herself.
An unusual view of the Battersea Power Station. This is an listed building, so there have been great discussions as to what is going to happen to it, as you cannot change it and you cannot pull it down. Panoramic view from Westminster Bridge on the River Thames. The London Eye is to the extreme right. We spent a wonderful day in Kew Gardens. All the seasonal trees were in bloom. This is commonly known as the bridal veil tree. I can understand why. Apart from that, I think it's a Wistonia. Bushy Park. Scenes like this are just everywhere. It's so restful.
One of thousands of ornamental door knockers to be seen in England. On a traffic island just outside Hyde Park, London, a massed bed of tulips. Tiling in the public toilets at Hyde Park show military scenes, in this case the changing of the guard at Windsor Palace.
Mounted police on their magnificent horses at Hyde Park, Speaker's Corner.
Hear ye, Hamleys opens at 11. We think that is what he was saying. We were quite convinced he actually wanted to be paid for the photograph. Peaceful, tranquil English countryside.
Paragliders on the downs near Beachy Head. To join them, we'd take and scoot up some real rough agricultural paths. This view is inland towards London.
The White Cliffs of Brighton. These cliffs are made of chalk.
Scoot with the dusting of overnight snow. For us, it's still a fairy tale view when there's been snow.
Of all the photographs we have taken, this is my favourite.
The Ship and Anchor pub, Malden. The main pub was started in the 12th century. Malden Harbour on the east coast of England. It's 6:30 a.m. and I'm watching the sun rise through the masts of Thames barges lying at rest on the quayside, where I'm the only person up and around. The English countryside, more particularly some farmland. Caught on a camera set up to photograph wildlife. A sheepdog having fun.